Hey guys, Gazelle here, back with more NFL picks. We're in week number 11. Um, Sorry, this is like my third time trying to attempt to record this. I am coming down with a little bit of a cold, so I apologize if I have to clear my throat or just anything of the sort. So, hopefully it's not too bad, and I'll get through these picks, and yeah, it should be fun. Thursday Night Football, we have Packers at Seahawks. This is one of the better games of the week. Both teams really need a win here. If they lost, they are severely uncritical mode for the season. Packers would drop to 4-5-1. Seahawks would drop to 4-6, and they would also lose the tiebreaker to whatever team they lost against here. This should be a good game. Although the last few Thursday Night Football games have been pretty bad, pretty big blowouts. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks at home. I think they play pretty decent football at home, and I do think that the Packers are not as good as the media likes to say they are. I know they have Aaron Rodgers, but I think they're due for a season where they don't make the playoffs, and I don't think Mike McCarthy is a very good coach, honestly. So I think this is the year he finally gets fired, and I think that this is one of the games that starts the decline for them. And that is not the Vikings fan in me talking. That is just me thinking the Packers are not very good. So Sunday games, we have Bengals at Ravens. Bengals are just on a free fall mode. They're 5-4 somehow. I don't really know how they had that good of a start to the season, I guess. But they have been giving up so many yards and so many points the past few weeks, and they're going to a Ravens team that is really desperate for a win, especially their coach Harbaugh. I'm going to go Ravens here. I feel like their desperation for a win is greater than the Bengals. The Bengals just don't seem like they have any fight in them at all. And the Ravens, they have a really good roster. And I feel like, and I don't think Joe Flacco is going to play this game because I think he's hurt with his hip or something. So it'll probably be RG3 or it'll be their rookie they have. I can't remember his name. Someone in the comments will let me know. But I do like the Ravens here. I think it'll be a pretty solid win, actually. I don't think it'll be very close. Cowboys at Falcons. Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here, honestly, because the Falcons, they just lost. Not only did they lose to the Browns, but they're so inconsistent. I don't think they deserve to be a playoff team this year. I know I'm going to anger a lot of fans by saying that, but they got to get their act together. I don't necessarily trust the Cowboys either, but the thing is, the Cowboys, they have a really good running game, and they're starting to get better in the passing game as well. And their defense has been playing pretty well all year, honestly. I would not be surprised if by the end of the year, the Cowboys are on the fringe kind of a playoff discussion, like maybe like a 9-7 kind of team, maybe. I could be wrong, but I like the Cowboys better in this matchup. I don't really know why other than that. Buccaneers at Giants. This is a game where I don't really have any faith in either team at all. I'm going to go Giants because the Giants, they have Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham, and those two alone should be able to destroy this Buccaneers defense that has been terrible all year long. And the Buccaneers offense has been so inconsistent with turnovers and failed drives, and give me the Giants at home. That's just my opinion on that game. Steelers at Jaguars, a rematch of last year's divisional game? Yeah, it would have been divisional game, where the Jaguars destroyed the Steelers at Heinz Field. This game is so much different, though. The Steelers are rolling and the Jaguars are floundering. I mean, you got to go Steelers here. The Jaguars have shown no real fight these last few weeks. They have been losing so many games. Their defense is arguing amongst themselves in the locker room. It's not a pretty situation in Jacksonville, and I think this is the year Blake Bortles finally gets the boot and gets kicked off the team. Although, I mean, his contract makes it tricky, but the Steelers are a better team, and they're playing better right now. Although the Steelers do tend to lose randomly games they should win on the road. They don't play very well on the road, or at least very consistent. So keep that in mind. Don't bet with my picks. Would not be surprised if the Steelers blew this game. But I will pick them to win. Texans at Redskins. This should be a pretty good game, actually. The Redskins are probably the worst good team in the NFL right now. And what I mean by that is they're 6-3? And they're not very impressive 6-3, if that's the record. I think that's what it is. Their offense has been so reliant on Adrian Peterson, and sometimes he has a great game, sometimes he doesn't. But they're just, where's Alex Smith? I mean, he's been a pretty solid quarterback his whole career. He should be throwing for more yards than he is and more touchdowns than he is. He's just been gone. Um, and they're welcoming a Texans team that, while I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in, they are winning a lot of games, and they're making a sizable lead on their own division. And I do think the Texans will win this game. I think they're just kind of more well-rounded than the Redskins. So I'm going to go with Texans here. I don't have a whole lot of confidence. It should be kind of entertaining game. If this one's on my television or something, I'll probably try to catch some of it. So yeah, I'm going to go Texans. Titans at Colts. This is one of the better games of the week. At least for me. I know to some casual viewers it maybe not be. The Titans, they just come off of a whooping of the Patriots. They destroyed the Patriots, and the Patriots' worst loss of the season. Actually, no, their loss to the Detroit Lions is probably their worst. But anyway, Titans are playing really good football right now. Keep in mind, this is also the Titans team that lost to the Bills and have blown some other games. But they're, 6-3 now? Or not 6-3, but they're like 5-4? Sorry, I don't know these records offhand, but I'm out of the ballpark. And they're going to a Colts team that's 4-5, and they're fun to watch. Every time I've managed to watch some of their games, Andrew Luck looks like he's fun to watch again. And man, who do I pick in this game? The Titans are playing really well. The Colts are playing really well. I think the Titans are the better team, but it's at Colts, and I think Andrew Luck will be able to pull this game off. I think we're due for that Andrew Luck game where he pulls off a really cool home win. So I'm going to go Colts here. I think it'll be a close game, though. Panthers at Lions. Straight up going Panthers. The Lions, they look like they have been gutted and are dead for the season. They have lost back-to-back against the Bears and the Vikings, both of which are teams that are probably around. The Panthers, Vikings, and Bears are all probably like that same tier. They're not quite the top tier in the NFC, but they're like that tier below that are just kind of solid teams. And if the Lions lost bad against both the Bears and the Vikings, I think they'll also lose bad to the Panthers. The Panthers are coming off that really upsetting loss to the Steelers. I'm sure they're fired up and ready to come back with a vengeance. I think they roll into Detroit and destroy the Lions. I don't think it'll be very close. I think the Lions are just done for this year. Broncos at Chargers. Straight up, give me the Chargers. The Broncos, Case Keenum, I love Case Keenum, but there's not really a whole lot working with him, around him. The defense for the Broncos plays well in stretches, but the offense is so inconsistent. And they're going to a Chargers team that is rolling. They're like the most underrated team in the NFL right now. The Chargers are 6-2 right now. Maybe 7-2. It's one of the two, 6-2, 7-2. They are rolling. They're playing great on both sides of the ball. They just came off a win in Seattle against a good Seattle team. And they're playing at home. And time for the national media to give the Chargers some respect. They are going to the playoffs this year. I guarantee it. And I think they'll be a really competitive team in the playoffs too. Give me the Chargers at home. Pretty easy win. We have probably the worst game of the week now. The Raiders at the Cardinals. Both teams are disappointing, to say the least. Man, what do I say about this game? The Cardinals, they have been improving the last few weeks. David Johnson is finally playing better. Josh Rosen is playing a little bit better. The defense is playing a little bit better. They're slowly starting to they're playing better. Welcoming a Raiders team that has lost all significance of fight this season. Blame it on the coach, blame it on the team, however you want to say it. They can't score points. They can't stop people on defense. I'm surprised they even have a win, and that win was in overtime against the Browns earlier this year. Give me the Cardinals at home. I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in them, but they're playing a little bit better every week, and I think that they're good enough to take down a Raiders team, but don't put too much stock into this game. I'm going to go Cardinals at home. Eagles at Saints. Man, I think most people are going to be taking the Saints in this game. And I can't blame you. The Saints are rolling. They have just beat the Rams, and then they obliterated the Bengals at the Bengals own stadium. This is my upset pick of the week. I'm gonna go Eagles, and here's why. The Eagles, they still have a good roster. They have been underperforming for sure. But I feel like they are the more desperate team easily in this situation. They're 4-5. They're nearly out of contention for a playoff spot because we're running out of season now. And I think the Eagles will show up in this game. I can't guarantee they'll win or anything, but I think they have more drive to win a game. And they have been so disappointing this year, but I think they pull off a huge upset against the Saints in New Orleans. I know it sounds crazy, but Carson Wentz, I believe in you. I think you can get this win. And no disrespect to the Saints. I think the Saints are probably arguably the best team in the NFL. But I think desperation is a huge asset to teams. I really do think so. So give me the Eagles and a nail biter. Really close game. Don't have any logic other than I think they're just due for a win of magnitude. They are the defending Super Bowl champions. Win a game like this, you know? Now we have the Vikings at the Bears. My favorite game of the week, obviously. I'm a Vikings fan. It should be a really good matchup. And contrary to what I normally do by picking the Vikings, I am going to pick the Bears here. They are at home, and I think the Vikings are 3-13 or something like that, or 3-10 in their last 13 matchups against the Bears at Chicago. The overall series, the Vikings have been doing really well against the Bears the past few years. I think they have the higher wins, but I respect this Bears team. I don't think they're as good as everyone says, but I do think they're a solid team. Like I said earlier, they're kind of in that second tier where they're not a great team, but they're a solid team with the Vikings and the Panthers. This should be a really close game, but for some reason I feel like the Vikings will lose this game. I feel like the Bears will win at home. I hope I'm wrong, and I do think the Vikings can easily win this game if they play to their potential. They're getting a lot of players back. They're coming off a bye. But I think the Bears they got some mojo going right now. And part of me thinks if I pick the Vikings, I'll lose. So I'm picking the Bears. So yeah, I'm going to go Bears here. It should be a pretty fun game. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Monday Night Football. This is the game of the week in most people's eyes. This is the Chiefs at the Rams. 2 9-1 teams. And this, man, imagine if they were both undefeated at this point. This would have been wild. But I mean, still, it's cool. They're both 9-1. Man, I am going to go Chiefs, and here's why. The Rams, while I respect them greatly as a team, their defense is suspect. It is being masked by their great offense. Their defensive line for the Rams is great, don't get me wrong, but Patrick Mahomes is definitely mobile enough to escape Aaron Donald and any other pressure they can bring from the line. I guarantee it. He's a very athletic quarterback. I think he can escape pressure. And he's going to tear apart this Rams defense. Now here's the thing. The Chiefs defense is not very good either. So this could be a very easily a shootout. I think that Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, all the weapons on offense, they can easily put up points against the Chiefs as well. I think this will be a shootout, but I think the Chiefs win. Don't have any real reasons other than I think Patrick Mahomes is the difference in this game, but I think that the Chiefs will win. So, those are my picks for week number 11 of the NFL. Sorry if I sound a little sick. I'm trying to fight back a cold right now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle, hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.